Well, thank you, and good morning to everybody. Jim didn't tell me that when you get Titan status, it just means you're old and you can't see anything anymore. So I need my glasses. But I want to set a little context with my interview with Aga today around the EIC. Um, the European Innovation Council is the European Union's flagship innovation and deep tech investment platform created to strengthen Europe's ability to commercialize breakthrough technologies and compete globally in strategic sectors, including healthcare, AI, biotechnology, advanced manufacturing, robotics, climate technology, and digital infrastructure. But one of the things that's happened in the European Union, it's been difficult to scale companies, retain them in the community without leaving. And what do we do about that? And that's why the EIC was established. And so I'm really excited to talk today about the EIC and what you're doing. So for the audience that doesn't know who you are, can you introduce yourself and what your role is in the EIC currently?
Thank you, Bill. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be here with you, and thank you, GCV, for inviting me here. I'm leading a team in the European Innovation Council that, since now I think almost 10 years, was building what we call business acceleration services. EIC, it's mainly about funding, but it's not only about funding. We want to offer smart money. So this is why we have developed a set of services for the funded startups. We bring them to international markets. We connect them with potential clients, further investors. We support them with procurement, coaching, comfort, mentoring skills. So we want just to make everything around them to enable them to succeed because we already invested a lot of money in them. Yeah.
Well, great. Well, welcome to the stage. Let's dig a little deeper. You work at the intersection of startups, investor, corporates, European innovation policy every day. And from your vantage point, what changes in Europe's innovation ecosystem have you been most noticeable in the last several years?
I would say that the biggest change is that Europe is not anymore asking itself, can we create great startups? The question is now, can we scale them into the global champions? So the issue is now with scaling. We've seen some 10 years ago when we were starting, we were talking about still SMEs, small and medium, innovative small and medium enterprises. Then we started to talk about startups. And now, of course, we talk about scale-ups. We have a commissioner in the European Commission dealing with startups and scale-ups only. So the issue is not anymore with creating startups. We have great funders in Europe, grant investors, also thanks to the whole work done by the European Investment Fund. Lady Do just talking before me, that actually invested a lot of capital in the funds and allowed that if the startup has a good technology and good team, it's relatively easy to raise a seed and a Series E financing. So now the question is more about scaling up.
So let's follow that a little bit more. Your obviously role is to help these emerging companies go beyond the funding, and you said that's a good market right now, at least for funding. What are some of the common challenges you see and the funders are facing as they try to scale and grow and build a company from seed capital up to maybe getting even growth capital or an exit?
Yeah. So access to capital, that would be an obvious answer. But maybe the more accurate answer is that they would actually need more customers, more traction with the industry, strategic partnerships. And this is where actually the corporations are coming in, no? And this is again what we've been doing and promoting with with the business acceleration services. So these connections with potential clients, because it's still not happening itself in Europe. It's the landscape is fragmented. So even if a company got an EIC funding, a company from Italy or Spain to work with ABB in Sweden or Merck in Germany or elsewhere in the world, it's still complicated. So within European market, it's still not working at the speed that we would like this to be. So this is what actually we're trying to fix.
So just a little more deeper on that, do you find, it sounds like there's a lot of capital for seed investment, but is it harder for the companies to get more capital in the A, B, C rounds? And then is it that, or is it also commercialization issues, or is it kind of combination of both?
Oh, yeah, of course, it's both. Yes, yes, it's both. So this is why also different European initiatives were created recently. So you probably heard about the Scaleup Europe Fund created to actually allow companies to gather biggest rounds, so 100 millions and up, 500 millions. So this amount. So far, it's this fund has 3 billion euros, but the idea is to get a 5 billion to be able to invest into deep tech startups. And then on the commercialization side, of course, this is still not, it's what we see. We see a big, I think, change that happened also with corporations is that 10 years ago, we've seen a lot of like accelerators powered by different corporations. There was a Wyra of Telefonica, for example, or a Plug and Play was running a big one for car makers industry in Germany. So this model is a little bit shifting. So that was a kind of like externalization of this efforts of working with startups. Now this is shifting towards more venture clienting, so really internationalizations of this open innovation efforts. And what we've been trying to really promote and connect is this kind of activities. In the business acceleration services, we have a dedicated program called the Corporate Partnership Program, where basically we are organizing matchmakings between the open innovation teams of corporations and our portfolio of companies. We have now around 1,500 deep tech companies in the portfolio that was selected through very thorough selection procedure, risked with EIC capital. So these are really excellent companies across all sectors. So we can work with many different corporations. We already organized 100 of those matchmaking activities, and what we've seen is around 200 of deals that came out of it. So either sales or piloting, proof of concept, licensing agreements. So this is this kind of interactions that we would like to see more happening. And of course, for the CVCs, we also work with the CVCs on the investment side. So just a message to all the CVCs in the room: if you want to learn more about the EIC portfolio companies, let's meet up, and I can explain you more how we can work together.
Hey, can I just ask a follow-on to that, just for the CVCs in the room, and I'm a CVC, how do we actually work with you? Do we just get in touch with you? And aside from the matchmaking, what are some of the other things you do with the CVC?
Yeah. So we have an investment outreach program. So the point is really to connect the funded startups with potential investors. So that's a bit different from this corporate part. So we basically have a team that can meet up with you, understand what is your investment thesis, and make recommendations of startups from our portfolio, and of course make introductions. We organize pitching events as well. So this is a way of working with us. There's also in the EIC fund. So EIC, it's 10 billion euros for breakthrough deep tech innovations. EIC fund was created to offer the equity part of our support. There is also a grant part that is offered by my agency. So the EIC fund is run with, there was a specific venture created in Luxembourg for this, and the due diligence is being done by the EIB as an investment advisor. So they also help to syndicate the rounds. So we work together, my team and the EIB team, to connect the startups with potential investors.
Very good. So you have a really interesting model where you can do grant money, you can do funding, but you also help with commercialization. What are you seeing? And because all the markets are slightly different, what do you see has been working really well, and what maybe are some things that have been a little bit more of a challenge as your model continues to grow?
Mhm. So what we've seen working well is really these connections with potential clients. So it's really important to help those startups. So I said we have rigorous selection procedure, but still, when they come to us, these are deep tech startups, very much rooted in research. The founders are often very much more on the technical side than on the business side. So there is still a long pathway to really make them investment ready. No, this is why we actually start with the grant funding, so they can still do some development work, and in parallel they work with us on making them investment ready through mentoring, coaching. We really go very hands-on with them on working on the pitch decks. So this kind of work, and then they are once they're ready for investment, then the EIC fund is of course monitoring that, and whenever they are ready, they inject the money from the equity part. So I think this showed itself very successful. Where we still might want to catch up and further develop. We're still trying to see how we improve our selection process for the companies. We have recently included a tech due diligence in the selection process. That was it was screened by the expert in technology, but we even reinforce that and make it even more market oriented, because the technology can be excellent, but we want to evaluate really from the market perspective, seeing also what are the competitors doing, whether it's really there's not our way of providing the solution. So I think this is a great step forward. Yes, it's continuous improvements. That's
Well, since this is a CVC event here, corporates are a big part of your program. From your viewpoint, what are some of the things we do well, but what are some things that we can do better to help your program?
Well, there's of course all debate about the acquisition markets that was even mentioned here just before. So what the corporate can bring is, of course, CVC investment, becoming of its customers, value chains, access to this, including piloting plants, so all the infrastructure, so the strategic partnerships. But then also providing an exit opportunity, and this in Europe we still missing, especially for scale-ups. Now, what we see in our portfolio, the companies that became unicorn, they often go for an exit, also for an IPO in US. No, so IPO is one thing, but we need more corporations, European corporations, providing an exit opportunity for startups and acquiring.
Okay. So we've talked a little bit about the funding. We're talking a little about commercialization and how you work. There's obviously different markets and there's different friction amongst markets. So how do you get a company that might start here to scale and grow across, the union or wherever it starts? How do you get it to grow?
Yeah. So the big friction that we have, of course, it's a fragmentation of the European market. No, so 27 member states. You go in US, you go across the continent. You don't even realize going from one state to another. Here, you realize straight away. There was recent initiatives by the European Commission called the EU Incorporated or 28 regime, if you want. So really to create a legal regime for startups similar to what you have in the Delaware Incorporation, to have something similar, really easy and across all member states, a same legal structure for innovative companies and startups. So we want to make it, cheap, easy to set. All, of course, digital, and that goes without saying. But this set of rules will be good for startups, no, because it will synchronize everything regarding taxation, insolvency, regarding stock options, and that will give also more security for you investors. So this is really one of those initiatives that can have a great impact, and that we actually really, really need in Europe.
So for corporates that either haven't invested in Europe or just starting to, what do they typically underestimate about the innovation environment in Europe?
Maybe what is what we're seeing, like kind of like outside Europe corporations discovering, or when we talk with them, is actually the depth of the scientific innovation, the scientific background that is here behind all our deep tech startups, because it's really excellent science in frontier domains like quantum, of course, different application of AI, biotechnology, health-related technology. So the science is excellent behind. So the technologies are really really strong, and we see more and more interest actually coming from different parts of the world. No, we're working very well now with Japanese corporations that are very much supported also by the government in doing that, and there is a clear and genuine interest from their side.
And then for those of us that have portfolio companies in Europe, how do the portfolio companies work with you? Do they just reach out and look, is there a funding process, or if they just need help, how does that work?
You mean the startups,
Yeah,
or
the startup, yes.
yeah? So there is to get the EIC startup funding. There is a very clear selection procedure that they need to follow. It's just a pitch deck. Then they are invited, if they pass the step, to submit a longer application, and then they need to pass in front of the jury in Brussels. We organize that. So as a whole, it's very selective. It's really only the top 3% that are getting this funding. So the process is clear, and once they in the portfolio, once they receive it, then they also eligible to all the services that I mentioned before.
So our last question: if you look 5 years ahead, what gives you optimism about how Europe can compete globally in innovation across all sectors?
Yeah. I think it's very hard to be super optimistic now, because there's a lot of instability, so geopolitical, in terms of economical, of course, and security, we feel very well in Europe. But I think all this are also opportunities. So there's always an opportunity in this kind of situation. So just look at Ukraine and how really the tech ecosystem, especially regarding like drones and military technologies, really developed. So they use the opportunity in the a very bad situation in which they are. But so we need to learn from them and also take advantage of this. Of this. Same with the geopolitical instabilities. What we've been seeing is now turning towards maybe different partners to which we've been not working so much before. Again, mentioning Japan, Korea, Brazil, India, of course. So working with different partners. So that's, I think, what brings me the optimism is again the technologies that we have, because they are excellent, and if we will be able to really be able to use the opportunities that are there smart, then the future is also bright.
Well, fantastic, and I look forward to working with you in the future. And thank you for your time today, and I thank the audience for listening. Thank you.
Thank you.